Looks to me like Mike Doyle was drugged, a spike was driven through his head during or immediately following.
You know what? You Hollywood did some Y'all saw that, right? Yeah, that's police brutality. Don't think I'm gonna report you.
Motion as soon as possible, aye, sir! Time maneuvering, turbine power restored!
You know that one friend who's always got energy, always making moves? That's Victor. From making us laugh as Stinky Steve on Sister, Sister.
Rocket Burger employee has a rocket strapped to his butt.
That wasn't in the manual.
To dropping jaws in Crimson Tide, he's got the screen presence that you can't ignore. But here's the twist. The dude's also an acro yoga beast, training celebs and pushing the limits of what the human body can do. Think you know him? Think again. This guy's making moves that you've got to see to believe. And this is a little of what we know of his story. Victor's journey starts in Texas, a place as far removed from the star-studded streets of Los Angeles as you can get. But long before he was dominating acro yoga and leaving a mark on TV, Victor was just another kid from Dallas trying to figure it all out. And let's be real, he wasn't always destined for Hollywood greatness. No. His first step into the spotlight came at the Dallas Young Actors Studio, where he was just a kid taking acting classes. It was there in that studio that his passion for the stage was ignited, and the fire that would eventually lead him to LA. He was born on January 31st, 1975 in Kentucky, USA. Growing up in the 80s in Dallas, Victor was surrounded by some of the biggest names in sports and pop culture. Michael Jordan was flying high, and then there was Lynn Bias, whose tragic overdose after being drafted by the Boston Celtics shocked the world. It was that moment that changed everything for Victor. He saw firsthand how fast drugs could destroy a life, and he promised himself he wouldn't fall into that trap. But as we all know, life has a funny way of throwing curveballs, and it wasn't as easy as just making a promise to himself. You see, Victor grew up in the heart of cowboy country. Chewing tobacco was practically a rite of passage for the boys, and like any curious kid, he had to try it. At just 7 or 8 years old, he took that first dip of tobacco, and let's just say it didn't go well. He was left dizzy, nauseous, and miserable. From that moment on, he swore off drugs and alcohol for good. No more substances. He wasn't about to let something so small have such a big hold on his life.
And one sartain.
But you know how peer pressure works, right? It never stays far behind. In his Dallas neighborhood, dipping tobacco was just normal. Everyone did it, and Victor, like the rest, found himself caught in that web. He gave it another try, and just like before, he was left feeling gross, dizzy, and all kinds of regretful. That was it for him. No more tobacco, no more substances. Period. That moment stuck with him, a lesson he'd carry for the rest of his life. You control the substance. It doesn't control you. Fast forward a bit, and Victor packs up his life and heads to LA. But hold up. He didn't come for fame and fortune. Oh no, this man wasn't just trying to break into Hollywood, he was trying to break stereotypes. He was there on a cheerleading scholarship of all things. Yeah, you heard me right. A black male cheerleader in a town that hadn't seen much of that, that's what you call turning heads. In an industry that was already reluctant to embrace anything outside the box, Victor wasn't about to let Hollywood pigeonhole him into some tired role. No, baby, he came to change the game. But here's where it gets juicy. Hollywood wasn't exactly sure what to do with Victor. He didn't fit the mold of the typical black guy roles they were so used to churning out. And trust me, Hollywood loves to stick people in boxes. But Victor wasn't about to be anyone's token. He was here to break the mold, to rewrite the script. So what did he do? He said, screw it, I'm doing me. And that's when he turned to stand-up comedy. Now, comedy was always in his blood. Growing up, he idolized Eddie Murphy, Corey Haim, and Corey Feldman, not just for their acting chops, but for their undeniable influence. Victor knew that comedy wasn't just about jokes. It was about changing the conversation. He tried it out, thinking it might give him that edge, that special something that would make him stand out. But here's the thing. Victor realized quickly that comedy wasn't his thing, at least not the way he wanted it to be. He needed that something else, so he came back to his first love, acting.
Are you gonna arrest me this very minute, or can I finish this play?
Why do you think we're here to arrest you?
And when he went back to it, oh, the recognition started rolling in. Little by little, he was climbing. And let me tell you, Victor didn't take the traditional route to Hollywood fame. Nope, he didn't go to college, didn't get any formal training. He was all about doing things his way. Unconventional, unapologetic, and unbothered by the rules. That's how he made it. And speaking of breaking rules, his first big gig? Hollywood Homicide, baby. You know, the one with Harrison freaking Ford. Imagine being the newbie.
Homicide.
Oh, man, what's this supposed to be, man?
Barely making a name for yourself, and there's Han Solo himself offering you a joint during a 16-hour shoot. What did Victor do? He turned it down. Now, years later, he might have thought, maybe I should have hit that joint just for the experience. But nah, he stuck to his guns. He stayed true to his decision. And that's a level of self-control we all need to respect. Hollywood's glamorous side? Sure, it's shiny on the surface, but the deeper Victor got into the industry, the more he saw what was really happening behind the scenes. Substance abuse, rehab stints, friends spiraling down dark paths. It wasn't pretty, but Victor, he never gave in. He wasn't going to let that Hollywood darkness pull him in. Now let's talk about his iconic roles. Baby, Victor's career was a ride through the twisted, unpredictable world of Hollywood, and you might have missed him, but trust, you didn't forget him. The big one, Crimson Tide, a classic submarine thriller starring Denzel Washington and Gene Hackman. Victor was a sailor in that film. Blink and you miss him, but he's part of that star-studded ensemble. Then there's Can't Hardly Wait, where he plays Woody the reminiscing guy.
You're the one. Man, duh. He's gonna be embarrassed.
Not in it for long, but when he's on screen, you know he's leaving a mark. And Hollywood Homicide. Victor plays the chaplain alongside Harrison Ford and Josh Hartnett. The movie might not have been a massive hit, but hello, Harrison Ford? Yeah, that's a flex.
I saw that, right? Yeah, that's police brutality. Don't think I'm gonna report you.
But hold up, his career got real quirky too. He jumped into Leprechaun 6, Back to the Hood.
Fourth grade, yeah, for real.
Explains a lot.
Victor playing a stoner in a straight-to-video horror comedy. Iconic. He's also been in Modern Vampire's Girl and Space Station 76. Big roles, small roles. Victor's been there, done that. Oh, and we can't forget TV, right? Melissa and Joey.
I think I can cover your 1,000. I'm all in.
And CSI, New York.
Please tell me that's always catch and release.
Depends on how hungry I am. If you'd been here an hour ago, you would have seen me with a 2-pound Norway brown.
He was Wolford Bessie for one gripping episode. He even appeared in The Shield, Bones, and The Army Show, playing Ozzie Lee across 5 episodes. And let's not forget about NYPD Blue. Just 1 episode, but he was there as Byron Wade, leaving his mark.
2 trash bags. Don't you dump your trash. Not the day after pickup. That's when the bins is empty.
But let's talk about the real throwback, Sister. Who didn't love that show? And there was Victor, playing Steve, a recurring character.
But a lot of people call me Mr. Pizer. I mean, a lot of people. But I'll leave that up to you.
Victor wasn't just popping up here and there. He was making moves, getting that screen time, showing Hollywood that he wasn't just a one-hit wonder. So yeah, Victor's career is like a playlist full of variety. TV? Check. Drama? Check. Action? Check. He's even dabbled in acro yoga. Don't worry, we'll get to that later. This man has touched it all, and he's done it on his own terms. Nothing about Victor's journey was ever about fitting into the mold. He broke it wide open. As for the story behind acro yoga, well, he didn't even know what it was at first. He thought it was just cheerleading, but lying down. But the truth is, the guy was all about acrobatics. And because of his background in cheerleading, he basically sped past everyone else, getting major recognition for his skills. But here's the tea. Victor wasn't having any of this acro yoga label. He didn't like how the whole thing got co-opted by marketers who slapped a yoga label on acrobatics to sell it to women. According to him, it wasn't about Zen poses and chants. It was all about the acrobatics. And let's just say his spin on the whole thing made the acro scene pop with energy and life. He wasn't about the hippie culture that was ruling Muscle Beach. He wanted to bring music, fun, and a social vibe. But you know the moment it skyrocketed? Well, it was when he was teaching a Russian woman acro yoga for a talent show. She was so impressed, she actually paid him for his time. You know what that means, right? That was the moment Victor officially went from practicing flips to getting paid to teach them. And then the ball started rolling. Workshops worldwide, a social media following that skyrocketed, and suddenly, Victor Togunde wasn't just a guy flipping on Instagram. He was the guy. Now, Fast forward to 2025, and this 50-year-old legend is still out here in Los Angeles teaching acrobatics, dominating social media, and leading private lessons like a boss. He's turned that side hustle into a career that keeps on giving, and the best part, he's still got more flips to throw. So here's the bottom line. Victor Togunde's career is everything. He's been in your favorite shows, left a legacy in the acro yoga world, and most importantly, he's done it all on his own terms.